When my mom was diagnosed with lung cancer, my family experienced things that surprised us. Even though my sister's a nurse and I'd read about cancer and I thought I understood the mechanics of the disease and I knew it was going to happen physically, there were still things within the family and things with our interaction with the medical establishment that we weren't prepared for, that surprised us. And very early on in this experience, I got the idea I should share this with people. This is something people can benefit from. I didn't know if I'd be writing about it. I didn't know if it would be magazine articles or books. I didn't know what it would be until one day when I went to chemotherapy with my mother. Chemotherapy is a boring thing to go through. You sit in the chair for 2-3 hours and they pump the chemo into your veins, and at least my mother typically napped through it. So I went with her and I took some paperwork to do, and she was just sitting there, and I turned a piece of paper over and I sketched her sitting there in the chair, and I put little captions around it. This is the walking stick she made in Alaska, and these are the names and the dosages of the drugs she's taking today, and this is the blanket they gave her to keep her lap warm. And I just looked at this one sheet of paper with these captions around it and realized that in that one picture and few words, I'd somehow managed to capture something essential, meaning the essence of this experience, that I couldn't have captured in 2,000 words of prose. I couldn't have done with photography. I couldn't have done it any other way. So there was something about this combination of pictures and words that told what that day was like for us. And that's kind of when the light bulb went off, and I thought, this might be the medium for telling the story I want to tell. I didn't tell my family about it right away for a couple of reasons. First, cowardice. And second, I didn't want to make them self-aware of having to be careful around me. It's kind of like, the anthropologist doesn't want the observed to know they're being observed. I didn't want them to act any different. I didn't want to put any pressure on them because we're already going through this awful situation. Who needs the pressure of worrying what Brian's going to go home and write about at night? I didn't want that. They didn't deserve that. It wouldn't be fair to them. So I kept it from them for quite a while until I was probably more than half done with the story. And it went online, and I realized when it started to get more and more readers that I'd better tell them before they found out some other way. I called my mom and my sisters, I think all on the same phone call, and just said, I've got something to tell you, a little project I've been working on. Go to this website, take a look, tell me what you think. And I described what I was doing to them and why I was doing it. And much to my relief, my mother was thrilled. My mom always had kind of an exhibitionist, dramatic streak to her anyway. I mean, she always wanted to be an actress. And she just thought it was fantastic that she was the star of this story. She called me back and said, I can't wait to find out what happens next. My sisters were a little less enthusiastic, and I understand why. Part of my charge, part of my purpose in doing this, the promise I made to myself was to be as honest as I could about it, realizing that as a participant in the story, there would be some limits to how clearly I could see things. But I wanted to be very honest about it, and that meant not always painting all the members of my family, including myself, in a very good light. What surprised me was I very early on recognized that I'd captured something universal, more universal than I'd expected. There seems to be something very common among families going through any kind of crisis. I get emails from people saying, I'm not like you, I don't have sisters, it's my dad, it's not my mom, and it's not cancer, but somehow it's like you were sitting in our living room watching us. Your family's nothing like mine, and yet somehow you nailed us. Holy cow! That's as a writer, that's a neat thing to accomplish. Having the book is my legacy. It's going to be in libraries. My kids can give it to their kids, who will never have known my mother. It's my legacy, but more than that, it's my mom's legacy. My mom wanted something good to come out of this bad experience, and I think she very much saw this book as a way she could help make that happen.